sixth graders, I hope you had a blast learning about the Mesosaurus and putting a little bit more of that information into your geology context and your geologic scientist context. Today we are going to continue this study learning about what the land was like where the Mesosaurus fossils were found. And again, I just want you to do a quick little check-in for me. Let me know how you're feeling. And then let's get right into it. So one way that scientists are learning about the Earth's outer layer, so in order to learn about the area and the rock that the fossils were found in, is that they're collecting samples, and they collect something called, they do this by doing scientific drilling. So they take a drill and they drill right into the Earth to get some samples of land, some samples of Earth to look at from below the surface. So we call this a core sample. So it's one way that scientists can learn about the inside of the Earth, and they take these core samples out and they make a visual representation called a cross section. So if we look at this, a cross section tells us what the inside of something looks like. So it helps us visualize the different layers. It helps us understand the different parts that are happening at our boundaries, our plate boundaries, and where the fossils are found. So an example of a cross section is the inside of something. If we look at this image here, we could draw a box in order to show a cross section here. So that would be an example of a cross-section. This would be an example of a core sample, right? They're taking this from inside of the Earth using the drill. So again, a cross-section is a diagram that shows what the inside of something looks like. And the analysis of core samples is used in order to better understand plate motion and changes that occur in our Earth over time and in Earth's layers over time. So it helps us better understand what each layer of the Earth looks like, how much of it there is, and what that means for the Earth. Today, you are going to be studying 4 different places and looking at core samples and cross-sections from 4 different places. The first one you're going to read about is Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona. And some information about it, a little overview, is that Petrified Forest is known for its beautiful fossilized trees. The trees were buried by sediment over time, and minerals replaced the matter, and it turned them into stone. So studying these layers of sediment can help us understand insights and have insights into the past plate motion and environmental changes that have happened here in the Petrified National Forest. So answer this question. How are sediments formed? A. Are sediments formed by the movement of plate tectonics? B. Sediments are formed by the weathering and erosion of rocks. C. Sediments are formed by volcanic activity. Or D. Sediments are formed by the melting of glacier layers. Site number 2, Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii. Okay, the volcano is one of the world's largest active volcanoes, so the world's largest, not just in Hawaii, and it's located off the Big Island in Hawaii. It has frequent eruptions, and we can study the lava and the volcano activity in order to learn more about plate motion and formation of new land. So we know that when lava dries or when it cools, it can form new rock, and we're wondering what kind of new land can be formed from that. So some volcanic eruptions can release large amounts of ash gases and molten rock, and we will learn about that later this school year. And the eruptions can cause changes in Earth's climate and affect global weather patterns. Again, we're going to touch on that in the spring. And volcanoes are a fascinating result of plate tectonic action. If you're not sure what I'm talking about when I say plate tectonic action or plate motion, just hang tight because we will get there in the next couple lessons. Site number 3, Guadalupe Island in Mexico. It is an ocean island located off of the coast of Mexico. So an island meaning it's apart from the mainland, and it's part of a chain of submerged volcanoes in the Guadalupe Sea Mounts. So studying this area can help us near the ocean floor, right? Because it's in the ocean, can help us understand the movement of the tectonic plates and in the Pacific Ocean. The ocean floor is made up of solid rock. True or false? Site number 4, the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. The Ross Ice Shelf is the largest ice shelf in Antarctica, covering an area roughly nearly the size of France. So if you have to look up a picture of France, you can do that. Scientists drill into the ice to collect core samples revealing information about the past. So they have to drill through the ice in order to get to the rock. And then drilling is in extreme conditions like Antarctica can be kind of hard because they have to go through that ice. But it does help us understand plate motion and environmental changes. Would you rather drill into the ice in Antarctica or examine core samples from the ocean floor? Why? So when we compare these drill sites, it's going to help us better understand and make connections between the different areas along in the Earth, right? Each of these locations that we're looking at are in different places on Earth. So it helps us build a better understanding of the landforms, the processes that happen, the geologic processes that shape our Earth, and these plate boundaries. Remember that Earth's outer layer is made of hard, solid rock. And we are going to be studying these layers and looking into them throughout this lesson. And so today in your lesson, you should read your drill site articles in your practice pages and then complete the questions that go with them. And then show what you've learned by working on shading the regions of Earth's outer layer in the coloring page. And remember that you should be using flexible seating, so being respectful, picking one spot, being productive, staying on task, and cleaning up at the end of class. Remember that if you have questions, you should make sure you watched this video. Check and make sure you have 100% on the video and in other things. Join a collaborative group. Come talk to Ms. Klug. Send me a Schoology message. And remember that today is a great day to learn. Happy learning!